Hi guys, this is Sadik from Debugging.com. In this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest Matrixx ROM Android 16 base onto the Moto G54 and G64. So please take a backup of all that on your phone and let's get started. First off, get the Android SDK from my article, extract them onto your PC. Upon doing so, you will get the following files. Let me show you. These are the file of platform tools. One that is done. Now enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. The debugging is required for ADB command and OEM unlocking is required to unlock the phone. So let's now enable both the toggles onto our phone. For that, go to the settings menu. From settings, go to about phone. Then device identifiers, which is over here. Tap on build number 7 times. Now go back, go to system, dev options, and from here, enable OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. Tap on OK. You might get a prompt, so again tap on allow. And with this, the debugging is now enabled. Let me first verify that as well. For verification, just type in CMD in address bar of platform tools, hit the enter key, and now type in the command of ADB devices and verify you're having an ID. If that's all well and good, let's move to the next step, which is unlocking the phone. For that, the steps are something unique in case of Moto phones. You have to first boot the phone to FastbootD mode, then type in the FastbootD OEM unlock, get unlock data. You get a 64-digit alphanumeric code, send the code to Motorola. They will then email you a unique code to use that code via the FastbootD OEM unlock and that code to unlock the phone. Once that is done, re-enable USB debugging once again. Then get the ROM file. The Matrixx ROM is both in the GApps and the non-GApps build. Get the one of your choice. Likewise, also get the IMG files. IMG file will be in a zip format. Don't extract the zip file. Leave it as they are. Let me show you what I mean. So, for example, this is the ROM file. This is the image file. Leave the image file as they are. Do not extract them. You have to flash the boot and the vendor boot, but do not extract these files. Once you've got both the file, copy the file from here and paste the file inside platform tools. Likewise, let's do renaming and rename the ROM file to just ROM, which becomes rom.zip. IMG file should also be renamed to, let's say, IMG, and this becomes img.zip. So let's do that as well. After that, boot the phone to FastbootD mode. It's the FastbootD mode, not the FastbootD mode. So let's get that job done as well. Type in the command of ADB, reboot, fastboot, and hit the enter key. With this, the phone should now be in the FastbootD mode in a few seconds. Let's keep a tab on that. And after that, we'll flash the IMG file in the FastbootD mode and then reboot to the recovery, then flash the ROM file with ease, no issue whatsoever. Once you're inside the FastbootD mode, type in the command of FastbootD devices and then hit the enter key as well. Just give me a few seconds. Let's be in the FastbootD mode first and then you may enter this command. After this logo, we should now be in the FastbootD mode. A few more seconds, then type in this command, hit enter, verify you're having an ID. If you're not having this ID, in that case, please install the FastbootD drivers onto your PC. The link for the same is given in my article. Once that is done, do a right click on the Windows icon and choose Device Manager. Then expand the Android phone section and verify your phone is shown here in the Android phone section. You could now see shown here. So that's all well and good. So first off, let's flash the IMG files in the zip package. So type in the command of fastboot skip reboot update img.zip. So we don't want to do a reboot. We want to skip the reboot as well. So copy the entire command, paste the command in the CMD window, hit the enter key, and they should now be flashed in just a few seconds. Once that is done, reboot the phone to the newly flashed recovery. So type in the command of fastboot reboot recovery and let's see what happens. Okay, in our case, we are now inside the fastboot mode automatically. Once that is the case, now reboot to the recovery mode. Copy this command. So as you might have seen, after we flashed the package, zip package, the last one was to reboot into the fastboot mode. So we are now inside the fastboot mode. From there, reboot to the recovery mode, the newly flashed recovery. And now we should now be inside the USB recovery, which will take a few seconds. The Matrixx recovery should now be here onto our phone in just a few more seconds. And once that is the case, we could then easily flash the ROM file in just a few more seconds. So let's just wait for that to complete. After this, we should be inside the newly flashed the Matrixx recovery, USB based recovery, and then we will flash the ROM file. So we are now inside the recovery, as you could see. So it's not the Matrixx, it's the Infinity X ROM recovery, but they all are fine. All will work across all the ASP ROMs. So that's not a cause of any concern. Simply just once you have inside the recovery, first off, go to factory reset, format data, again format data. Data wipe is now complete. Now go back, go to apply update from ADB. Now open the CMD window, type in the command of ADB devices and verify you're having an ID, sideload keyword as well. If that's all well and good, let's now flash the ROM file. For that, type in the command of ADB sideload, space sideload, and the file name, which is rom.zip. Hit the enter key. The flashing will now start, take up to around 4 to 5 minutes. So let's wait for that to complete. So guys, the flashing is just about to get complete in a few more seconds. Let me show you that screen. 47% in the last, and you could now see it's now flashed. If you want to flash any other zip file, then tap on yes or else tap on no. For me, I flash all the required files. There's no other file remaining because I'm using a GF package, the GF ROM, so there's no other file remaining. So I'll tap on no. Your last action, whether you flash any file or not, should be to do a factory reset once again. So do so from here, format data, factory reset. It's now complete. Now go back, tap on reboot system now. And the first booting up will take up some time, around 30-40 seconds. So let's at least keep a tab on the boot logo or the boot animation, and they should now appear anytime soon. So let's at least see that, which will signify that we've done the flashing successfully without any issue whatsoever. So after the Moto logo, we should then have the boot animation of the newly flashed ROM. So let's see whether that appears or not. Well, they should appear because they have no issue in the flashing, as you could see from here. So since there aren't any problem with that, so we should now be seeing the newly flashed ROM's boot animation in just a few more seconds. And you could now see this is the boot animation. And now please wait for a few more seconds for the ROM to boot to the OS. The booting up is now complete. So let's get started with the setup process. If you want, you may connect to Wi-Fi, then link your account as well, Google account, and then do an app data restore. But that will take ages. So let's skip that for now. Let me just skip all the initial process and just skip all of these. I will only accept the terms and conditions which is required, which are a must. Apart from that, let's skip all the other tweaks, at least for now. And with this, we are now inside the OS, the Matrixx ROM Android 16 base. So there are a few pre-installed apps. As you could see, all the Google apps are there. Automatic call recording app in the form of BCR is also there. The basic call recording. Then you have the new QoS styles, as you could see from here. Settings menu, let's access that. And you will get all the tweaks from this section, Matrixx override. First off, we have the UI tweaks. So styles, let's say expressive style. Okay, and we'll now get the new UI from the Android 16 base, as you could see. So apart from that, ambient display for the AOD, always show when charging. Okay, it's fine. Ambient wallpaper is not required. Let's give me a second. So okay, I have to enable the clock as well for the AOD. Then we'll have a look at that. Full screen apps, well, that's nothing as such. Theming engine from here. Theme color, let's say expressive. Not that much fine. Weight, fruit salad. You may also change the color from this section if you required. Let's say a green theme, a red, anyone will do. Tap on apply. And you have to do a UI restart. Only after that, the UI will change, which is quite an obvious statement. Then you may change the navigation bar. Okay, only one is there. That's strange to see. Font mode, only you may also upload a custom font if required, but for now let's use the default fonts only. Let's say General Science, and well, that was really strange. It undergone a UI restart automatically. So there is something wrong going on with the ROM, I suppose, or just a one-time issue. Let's not judge it very fast. For now, let's get back to the theming process and see what exactly is going on with the ROM. Now let's try it out once again. Settings, then Matrixx override, UI. We were in the font section and font style is over here. We are currently in the General Sans. Let's use that only. Icon tag, let's choose the lawn, and they are now changed in the status bar icons. Signal icon styles are from here. You could see various icons. Same is the case with the Wi-Fi icons as well. You may change the icon shapes in the app drawer on the home screen. Let's go with the pebble, and it's now changed, I suppose. Let's verify it once. And you could see they are changed across both the app drawer and the home screen. After UI, we have the lock screen tweaks. Media cover art, battery from the lock screen. If you want, we will also add the weather, but that will require more battery drainage at all times. Tap to sleep is enabled. Tap to wake is also working, and you could now see AOD is also working. A UI was required, a restart was required, and now it's working. Tap to wake. Well, it was working currently. So there are some slight UI issues, I guess, for the initial only. In the QoS settings, you may add a header image. There are various header images that you could choose from. Let's say space interval, and these are some nice ones out there. Okay, let's try it out, any random ones. which was looking okay. Let's try out this one, and it's added at the top, as you could see. But I am not a fan of all these tweaks. Let's keep it simple. Battery style, let's say dotted circles, and see at the top right, it's changed. Battery percentage is fine. Slider style, rounded square, and you could see it's changed. It's the rounded square now. Adaptive brightness should be turned off. Positioning in the top is fine. Let me change it to default only. Keyboard style shape, let's say square, and you could see the shapes have now been changed. I always go with the rounded square only. This one is fine. Then you may also add or subtract rows and columns of the keyboard styles if required. Vibrate on touching tiles is a must for me as well. Status bar tweaks, so I should hide the icons from this section if required. Clock style is fine. Positioning, date and time. Add seconds background chip, and you could now see it's added as well. Then we have the network traffic, Wi-Fi standard colored icons. Let me now show you lock and unlock the phone, and you could now see they are now colored. Action chip, you may also add that. Ongoing action chip, compact indicator, let's just show them as well. You may add a logo if required. For now it's the Matrixx logo. Emoticon devil, this is fine as well. Fire, Superman. Okay. For now let's turn that off. The battery size, text, and you could now see just the text. You may also have the battery bar. The battery fully charged is green in color, low battery red in color, and currently being charged is yellow. Let's say you change to blue, and it's now changed. Again, I am not a fan of these tweaks. Slider from to change the brightness from here, it's working. Quick pull down, let's say right hand side, and you could now see it's working as well. After that, notification tweaks. Force stop button, the notifications. Then let's see that. Okay, currently you could see there's added now, but don't do a force stop to the system apps. That might lead to some issues. In the sounds, anything fancy as such, volume on the left hand side now, and it's there now on the left. Vibration on connect, waiting and disconnect. Then buttons, let's see the power menu. Advanced restart is there. What all options we have there? System UI recovery and fastboot. FastbootD is not there, but we hardly use that during the ROM process. That's not required. Spoofing section, first of unlock higher FPS in the games. Integrated spoofing is there, so we have the PIF file with us. Then you may also upload the keybox file from here. I might be having a keybox file. Let me verify it once. From this section onto my PC in the downloads folder, I suppose. Keybox 14, this is the name. So let's enable the file transfer from here. And then load the keybox file. And place the file onto my phone from here. Upload it. And now you will pass the strong test with ease. Okay, just do one more thing. Rename the file to just keybox and remove the numbers from the very end. So let's do that. Keybox is there now. Now go back, tap on keybox override, choose the keybox file and load it. And you also have the PIF files. It should also be enabled. And now verify for the checking, and you will now pass the strong test. Then you also have the Google Photo storage. Netflix proof is there as well. You could watch DRM in full HD content 1080p. Allow app downgrade is a must for me as well. Hide screen recording captures. The left side is hide app list. 3-finger swipe. There are many options from choose from. Take a screenshot. It's now taken. Sidebar, you may add the apps on the sidebar as well. Swipe from here and you could see the apps. Action more apps from here. You may pin, maximize or close it. I will not use it because it tends to conflict with the back gestures of my phone. So apart from that, let's have a look at wallpaper and style section, which is over here. So first off, you could change the wallpapers from here. We have a few ones. So let's use the default only. You may change the themes from here or choose any of the color from here. Switch to light theme or back to dark theme from the section. Apart from that, what all is there, you enable themed icons and they are now enabled, as you could see. App grid size 5x5 is the one which I use always. And they are now implemented as well. Icons we have seen, shapes and font is also seen now. In the lock screen, you may change the clock style from here. Quite a few new clock styles are there, as I could see from this page. Let's choose any one of them. This looks nice. Let's stick with this only for now. In the home settings, what all is there, you may change the third-party icons used from here. Notification dots are already enabled. Home screen. Swipe to access Google app. This is the Google app which it's talking about. Since I've used the GF variant, I have the Google app as well. Apart from that, you may also hide the at a glance, which is over here. Date and time is shown currently, or Google search bar at the bottom of the screen can be hidden as well. Corner radius is fine. Theme icons you may enable here as well in the app drawer, or you may simply let me take it to 50% transparency, and this looks nice as well. Then apart from that, what anything fancy as such, over here in the recent tab screen you may enable the memory info, Google Lens, and now they could see all of them. The memory info is now shown as well over here. Then miscellaneous tweaks, you may hide or show the app from this section hidden, show it back once again. So guys, that's all from this video. If you have any query with regard to the flashing steps or any of the features, let me know in the comment section, and thank you for watching the video.